Okay, part 3 of the video. If you click on this link, you'll get to part 1, part 2, 5 minutes using Canvas and the resources again. And now let's get started with part 3, where I'm going to talk about ATP and ecstasy. Scroll down through this. And scoot it over just a little bit so that you can see the entire screen. All right, so we were talking about Gibbs free energy. Did we get that far? Metabolism, catabolism require ATP. That's where I went and showed you that. Pogel is how I got distracted. Delta G, delta is the capital D, Greek and sorority names. Actually, where was I? So I told you about Martha. Metabolism is the first law of thermodynamics. The second law is universe tends toward disorder. Don't forget that it's universe, not systems, which is the second law of thermodynamics. We talked about heat and all that. I recall it now. Catabolism, breaking, hydrolysis, blah, blah, blah. Gibbs free energy, super cool, delta G. This is the equation. Delta G is change in enthalpy minus T delta S. The things that I want you for Biology 1, just know that if it's a negative delta G, it's exergonic, it's spontaneous, and it releases energy. You're going to see this again. It's in the book. Positive delta G is endergonic, needing energy, non-spontaneous. Okay, continuing with diffusion, hypertonic, hypotonic. Check the videos. Turgid we mentioned. Facilitated diffusion is helping things get across the membrane. This is where I stopped last time. And now here's a structure function for you. ATP, this is it. Adenosine, which is the adenine unit, a nitrogenous base, plus the sugar. This one is ribose because there's hydroxyls at both the 2' and the 3'. There's another methyl group there connected to 1, 2, 3 phosphates. That's what the T is for. If you add water and break this apart, dehydration reaction, you're going to get a DP, adenosine diphosphate, and an inorganic phosphate, which is our energy, and you're going to get hydrogen ions and you're going to release energy, okay? And that's the energy that you're going to use for these reactions. Another step, the next step, is making AMP, okay? Next step over, you get adenosine monophosphate. Broke off the second P, more energy, okay? And then there's one more part that you're going to see in Unit 4, and it's called cyclic AMP, where you turn this into a cyclical structure. All right? So there's a video on that. There's actually a Pogel specifically for that. And that was part of what distracted me and made me start that other video. So if we go back to the modules and scroll down, that's where that Pogel is. Okay, so let me get back. Sorry, my ADHD confusion is showing up. Okay, some of you had questions about ecstasy. Play the games, go to the lesson plan, hit the links. It's super fun. Again, fun is what you learn, right? And a lot of you asked how, and some of you asked why. What is the mechanism that does it, which is also how, but also why is more than that, right? So the reason I say it is when people said, why do people take ecstasy? And one answer is, well, gosh, there's so many reasons. But the other one is the mechanism. And so it's our reward center. Remember that video, you're releasing serotonin and taking it up with all these different receptors. And so that's the mechanistic explanation. Take scientific process. The need for a mechanism is huge in science and understanding. I'm going to wrap this up with the growth mindset. I've talked about it a lot. Some of you said, I can't do this. You can never get past that, okay? So here's this really cool image. I'm going to get it for the classroom. You need to put it on your wall, okay? Fixed mindset. blah, drab, terrible, I can't, it's too hard, I'm no good, you need to lecture more, all that stuff. Convert that to a growth mindset. Everybody's talented. I'll keep trying. I can practice. This is what you guys are doing with your metacognition, right? The one that tries something else. The one that's most important is look internally at yourself for intrinsic and extrinsic motivators. I want you to learn. Extrinsically, I use points because that's what you guys have in your head, right? And that's an extrinsic motivation, and it's a stick. If you don't get enough points, then you have to like pay attention, right? But I like carrots better too, which is the games and the action. There's a link to it. Stop it with what should you learn? Everything. Anytime I talk about something, anything you do in class, anything that's on the study guide, that learning by listing, go back to the syllabus because it has the outcomes specifically stated. Okay, so I'm going to wrap it up there. It took me, 45 minutes to do this, and I got work to do to clean up for Hurricane Irma. So best to all you guys. I'm so proud of you. Study at least 2 hours for the next 4 days until we get to Tuesday, so you rock star it on that study guide. And then when you go to study for the test, you're doing it again. And you'll get there. I'm thrilled, and I hope you all pass the class and that a bunch of you get A's. Okay, thank you. Have a good weekend. Take care of each other. Cherish each moment. Take care, guys.